It's ups and downs in anything. Keep going, my nigga. It's better days. I damn near had to sacrifice everything. Keep going.
Ups and downs and everything. You know what time it is. You know what time it be. Risers and fallers. Week 31, segment 31. Anyway, you're taking us in. Be it on the YouTube, Instagram. You know what it would be. Well, rising fallers, we simply take stock of our athletes from the previous weeks who's been rising in stock and see who's simply been falling in stock. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get started. Our first riser of the week. The first is the boy, Mo Salah. Mo Salah. The Egyptian prince, the Egyptian king, whatever you want to call him. Boy, 100 Prem goals and up for the boy Mo Salah. And what he's done is completely unprecedented because it only taken him 162 games. Only Henry, Aguero, and I believe Kane and Shearer were quicker than him. Only those 4 guys. And all those guys, what they have in common? They're all strikers. All strikers. They're all orthodox strikers. Centre-forward strikers. Literally. Mo Salah, he's a right winger. He's an absolute right winger. He's a beast. He's a right winger. It's crazy. Even the guys below him, like Fowler and I believe Ian Wright, they're all strikers. He's the only guy that's actually a right winger. He's a sharpshooter. He's a bagsman extraordinaire. I mean, his style at times can be a bit, unappealing or not as aesthetically pleasing as someone else or some other players. But he gets the job done, and his numbers speak for itself. I mean, boy, you can't doubt that guy. I mean, his numbers do speak for itself. It's crazy what he's been doing. Is he underrated? Is he overrated? Is he rated appropriately? I'm gonna leave that to you guys because I know that can, really rile up a good debate because it's a good question to ask. How do you actually rate Mo Salah? Because his numbers say he's an all-time Premier League great. I mean, and on his way to being a great of this era. But maybe style, his efficiency, all-round game efficiency may not be appealing to the eye as it would be for other players like, let's say, Hazard and Neymar, those type of guys. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of Mo Salah? Let me know. But yeah, second rise of the week is the boy Bouncer. Damn, the wicked and bad platform he's created. I believe he's doing a lot of great things. Shout out to him. I mean, he's really turned his life around from spending, I believe, 10 years in bin basically means prison, and look what he's doing now. But yeah, he had a game plan and he executed it. And it's what would be considered perfection. I mean, he took down Armz. He literally took him down, hella takedowns. He made the fight nice and slow. He rested all his weight on him, sucked up all the air from him, all the energy from him, made his muscles really a lot heavier than they usually are. So he basically just diminished Armz's athleticism in a little MMA fight, the MMA fight that they had. And now he's the official wicked and bad champion. He won decisively by unanimous decision. But shout out to both of them boys. I mean, the fight consisted of 5 3-minute rounds. Them boys were really going at it. I mean, they did their thing. And full credit to them for lasting that long. For both, so they're both kind of risers in this aspect. But, unfortunately, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. It's crazy. But yeah, more on his journey, like from prison to working in Timpson's. I believe they refurbish and repair watches and polish shoes and that. You might see them in big train stations. But yeah, Bouncer's really turned his life around. Shout out to him and the brothers are making it, They're inspirational to an extent because they show the path, show that it's a pathway out for brothers like me and other guys out there. You can really make it, and if you put your mind to stick to a game plan and execute, it's all about execution at the end of the day, baby. But yeah, for Bouncer, so we go back to football, and I'm going to go to the boy Jesse Lingard, J Lings. The reason I'm choosing J Lings, because he could have easily been a faller, as he cost United the draw against Young Boys with his terrible back pass. But the reason he's a riser for me is because he used that down moment as motivation, as fuel for him to come on and change the game, be the match winner against his old club West Ham in the Premier League. And that's why J Lings is a riser for me, because he didn't pout, he didn't get down in the dumps. He really used that as fuel motivation for him to turn his form around. And he came at trumps when his team needed him the most, because the goal he bagged was a beauty. He kind of froze Kurt Zouma a bit, done a little heckle and jerk or hide, little shimmy, a little swivel of the shoulders, a little feint, and he put it top bins. 89th minute, match winner, postage stamp right in the top corner. And I'm really happy for Jesse Lingard as a whole. I mean, he's one of the major risers of the last 12 to 18 months. He's really turned his career around. I mean, apparently he had a lot of personal issues in his life, and that's kind of the reason why his form was really poor for those year or two, and he really has turned it around. Shout out Jay Links. But from Jay Links, we go to the boy Armz. Back to MMA fighting, celebrity fighting, whatever you want to call it. Armz, and also, I believe AJ first brought this to the public sphere when he lost to Ruiz the first time. Muscles don't win fights. They're nice to look at, they're good, and they do, carry a lot of weight and girth, and it is a good, usually a good denotion of strength. But they don't win fights. And Armz and Bouncer proved it. And Ruiz, to an extent, in the first fight, proved it against AJ. They don't win fights at the end of the day. Because if you're in a fight and last that long, eventually, if you don't get them out quickly, the muscle and the power and athleticism will work against you. Because when all the lactic acid builds up in those muscles and you're all heavy and shit, damn, it's going to be so annoying to carry all that weight around, extra weight around. But yeah, Bouncer's tactics made him pass out quicker. I mean, he just basically all the things that are at disadvantage, all the disadvantages of having heavy, very muscle bouncer basically activated that. That's what he basically did. And Armz couldn't handle takedowns whatsoever. His floor game was atrocious. And even when he was trying to escape the takedowns, he had to expend a lot of energy by doing it in athletic maneuvers. Yeah, he's very athletic, but by doing those athletic maneuvers, trying to do those athletic maneuvers time and time again, it takes its toll at the end of the day. And his athleticism was completely taken off the table, and that's eventually why he lost. I mean, all his strengths were taken completely off the table, and he had to fight Bouncer's fight. And Bouncer was going to win that fight because he was prepared to fight that fight. So from celebrity fighting, we go to the boy David Moyes. West Ham managers had a great start to the season. I mean, they're looking like top 6 contenders, maybe, who knows, maybe even top 4 contenders right now. But the reason he's a faller is because the decision to bring on Moyes for that last minute penalty. I can't understand why they did it, because they missed a lot of their most recent penalties, and nobody hasn't missed a penalty for he hasn't missed his last 10 to 12 penalties, dating back to 2014, 2015. But the only difference this time is Noble was on the bench cold. He barely warmed up, and he probably wasn't in the game plan for him to come on as a sub. Unless there was multiple injuries in the position he played. And I don't think he's ever taken a penalty cold. And yes, if it comes off, you're a genius, but it don't. It's a make or miss league, as they say in basketball, and this was a make or miss decision. And unfortunately, it missed, and he looks foolish. There's a fine line between a genius and a foolish in this scenario. And unfortunately, he falls on the foolish side because it didn't pay off. They missed the penalty, they lost the game. And, everyone's asking him a lot of questions regarding that. It's crazy. But from David Moyes, we go to another manager. But this time, across the river, across the oceans, to Espanyol, specifically to FC Barcelona, Ronald Koeman. Ronald Koeman, one of the best ever centre-backs, in my opinion, I think he's the best goal-scoring defender in the history of football, especially for centre-backs. You think Ramos is a guy. Look at Ronald Cole. He's different gravy. And yes, I have him above Ramos in my all-time centre-back or defensive rankings. He's a better defender than Ramos, but that's a story for a different day. But Ronald Koeman, as a manager, it's not looking good for him recently. I mean, they got spanked 3-0 by Bayern on their own patch. They got spanked, whipping that tail. Sugar, they were whipping that tail. It was crazy. I mean, they looked well to park from Bayern as they did when they lost 7-1 to them. They were at home. And it seems Koeman seems out of his depth. He can't really steady the ship, or the Barcelona sink his ship. I mean, and, it's going to be mad because even though it's not his fault, he's going to be the manager that was presiding over the club when Messi left. And to most people, Messi, or to a lot of people, Messi's one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. And so you've presided over the leaving or the departure of Messi, our greatest ever player, and that was on your watch. Damn, so it's not going to look good for him at all. But yeah, strong reports are suggesting he's on borrowed time. I'm not surprised. And it's sad, you know. He just can't seem to resonate with the players. He can't seem to get a tune out of them right now. And it's sad he's going to end up packing his bags very soon. I mean, shout out Ronald Koeman. But yeah, it's your boy Melo, TMG. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you listen to us on, audibly through Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Melo, one half of the TMG boys. I'm out.